Every day, we make choices, hundreds of them. Some are big, most are small. What to eat for breakfast, whether to wave at someone in the hallway, whether to do the extra practice question, or just move on. On their own, they don't seem important. They feel ordinary and forgettable. Yet small choices, repeated again and again, are never truly small. They quietly shape who we are, how people see us, and the kind of impact we leave behind. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ava Grace, and I have seen all too often how we like to imagine our lives are defined by the big moments: the championship game, the acceptance letter, or the graduation stage. Those are the moments everyone sees and remembers. What people don't see are the decisions underneath them. The early mornings, the extra drills, the quiet study sessions when it would have been easier to stop. The decision to keep showing up when no one is watching. The truth is simple. Success isn't built in one day. It's built daily. Consider school. No one becomes a strong student on the day of the exam. You become a strong student during the unremarkable evenings before it, when you choose to review your notes, when you redid a problem you missed, or when you actually put your phone away and focus. Character works the same way. You don't become a kind person because of one generous moment. You become a kind person because you chose kindness when it's inconvenient, when there's nothing to gain, and when it costs you time or even a little pride. There's a line from Atomic Habits that my quad mate likes to remind me of. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. You hear that, and if you're like me, you may ignore it. But the proof is in the routine. We sometimes act as if our identity is decided in a single instant: the tryout, the final, the interview, or the "this is it" moment. But that's not how it works. Who we are is decided by a pattern of ordinary decisions no one applauds. And building that pattern will rarely feel glamorous. No one cheers when you study instead of scroll. No one will hand you a trophy for a cold after-school workout or give you a standing ovation because you chose to listen instead of snapping back. There's no spotlight for that. And yet, that's exactly where your character is built. The truth is, when you keep showing up, your behavior starts to shift. If you run today, tomorrow, and then again, you become a runner. If you choose kindness again, especially when it's inconvenient, you become a kind person. If you do the work, night after night, you become a disciplined learner. And other people may not notice it in the moment, but even so, they matter the most, because every small decision is shaping the person you are becoming. Think about it. How many times in your life will you stand on a stage, take the last shot, or score the game-winning goal? Only a handful. But how many times will you decide whether to focus or drift off, whether to practice or stop early, or whether to be kind or indifferent? Tens of thousands. So those are the choices that decide who we are. We do live in a world obsessed with outcomes: grades, titles, and final scores. And that's why goals are useful, because they point us in a direction. But everyone has them. Every athlete wants to win, and every student wants to ace the test. Goals don't set us apart. Our habits do. As Atomic Habits puts it, the purpose of setting goals is to win the game, but the purpose of building systems is to continue playing the game. Goals tell you where you want to go, but your habits are how you actually get there. This is where the small moments create the big ones. Minutes of studying turn into understanding, and that becomes the grade. Extra practice becomes timing, and your timing will determine the game-winning play. 100 of kind actions builds trust, and trust becomes the friendship that lasts. There's another piece of life that is too often overlooked: joy. A quote that stood out to me was, "You can't always add years to your life, but you can always add life to your years." It's not about recklessness. It's about choosing small moments that can make your day just a little bit better. It looks like singing along in the car instead of sitting in silence, or a 10-minute walk with a friend. It's celebrating something tiny, like the very first time you drive when you hit 15 kilometers per hour in an empty parking lot. None of that is a headline moment, but choosing those moments will add life to your years. At school, Joy is rarely in the big, dramatic moments. It's more like laughing so hard with your friends in the dining hall that everyone looks your way. It's the walk back to residence when it's freezing and dark, but your friend is telling a story that absolutely did not need that many sound effects. Tiny, dumb, ordinary things that no one will ever post about. But those are the moments we remember later. You can choose to lean into those moments, have fun, and laugh, or you can just ignore them. But most of the time, joy will be a product of those small decisions. One of my best friends reminded me of this too. The night before a test, she texted me hi, and I already knew she was gonna ask to go get ice cream. It was late, and the responsible voice in my head said no, but we went anyway, in our sneakers and our nobody's gonna see me outfit. And we definitely saw people, but it was okay because we were talking and laughing. I went home lighter, and I focused. Those 30 minutes didn't steal time from studying. It gave the rest of the night back to me. When I got home, I put my phone away, stopped scrolling, and I actually focused. Small choices for joy can protect your energy, your friendships, and your focus. You never have to postpone happiness until you reach your goal. Because sometimes, the most productive thing you can do is laugh with your friends, and then, later, you can get your assignment done instead of staring at your screen while doing absolutely nothing. And one of the clearest places I've seen small joys and small choices add up is on the field. Sports have this sneaky way of turning tiny habits into huge outcomes. For me, there were afternoons when practice felt long, it was cold, and our legs were heavy, and everyone was juggling school and life. It would have been easier to drift off and not try, but we didn't. We communicated, we ran the drill, and then we ran it again and fixed what needed fixing. We laughed when the balls skipped our sticks, and then, of course, we did it again. Those cold practices, the small things that no one sees, made us CISA champions. Not one play or one speech. The ordinary shared decision we made to show up when it was cold, tiring, and no other sport was, became the difference that everyone noticed later. And honestly, some of my favorite moments from the season weren't even during games. They were on the bus, when everyone was screaming the lyrics to Delta Dawn. It was the jokes on the sideline or hanging out in each other's rooms at OFSA. Those weren't championship moments, but they felt like it. Now, to give credit where it's due, highlight reels tend to show the last touch, and I have taken shots that mattered. But those shots only existed because my teammates did the work and because our communication meant something. The truth is, most of what matters in life won't make the highlight reel. So to my teammates, thank you for proving that effort without attention still changes everything. And to our coaches, thank you for making the small moments count. You kept practice focused without making it miserable. You let us laugh when we messed up. And then, of course, you made us do it again. And right before a final, when nerves were high, you told us to trust what we do every day. And that one sentence calmed our team. So to everyone, but especially to the seniors in the room, please enjoy your last months of high school on purpose. Make tiny, deliberate choices to actually be here for it. Play in the snow, take the photo even if your hair is a mess, stay for the last 5 minutes of the game, walk the long way to class with a friend, or sit with someone new at lunch. Celebrate these little things. They're not throwaway moments, and they will add life to your years. They are also how you become the kind of person you are proud to know later. Because one day, without realizing it, you'll do something for the very last time here. The last time you sprint down the hallway, the last time you laugh with your quad mates or sit in your usual spot in the dining hall. And most of these lasts won't come with an announcement. There won't be a sign that tells you it's the very last time you'll do it. They'll just happen. And you might only realize it was the last time, months later, when you're somewhere else and suddenly miss something as small as the sound of your friends laughing. Because one day, all of this will turn into stories you tell about your time at Appleby. And you'll be busy doing things far beyond these walls. But right now, these memories aren't stories. They're still happening. So enjoy them. Really be there for the ordinary days, not just counting them down, but really living them. Because if you think back on your favorite memories so far, most of them probably weren't the perfectly planned ones. They were the nights that went slightly off script, the group projects where you ended up having fun, or the times you turned a boring commute into a mini concert with your friends. And that's proof that who you are becoming is not built only in the serious moments, it's built in the way you choose to bring lightness, humor, and kindness into your regular days. And there is one more myth I think it's time to get rid of. We talk about real life as if it starts later, after your math exam, after the season, after graduation, after we get into university, or we get our dream jobs. The truth is, we're already in real life. This is the future we used to talk about. We are actively becoming the people we are going to be. On a weekday, we might be tempted to treat as disposable. So when you look back, what will matter will not be a single cinematic turning point, it will be the pattern. The ordinary way you carried yourself when no one was celebrating you for it. The way you treated people who couldn't do anything for you, or the standard you held yourself to when you easily could have chosen less. That part follows you. That becomes your reputation, it becomes your character, and it becomes you. So I will close with this. You are, right now, teaching yourself who you will be. Every time you show up, or don't, every time you choose to speak with respect, every time you try or decide not to bother. These are not throwaway moments, they're definitions. Do not wait for the big moment or the spotlight or the movie scene transformation where everything suddenly changes and you become the person you are meant to be. Become that person on purpose. Begin in the small ways, when it's boring and when it's quiet. Begin when no one is watching. And remember to add life to your years along the way. In the end, it will not only be about what you achieved, it will be about who you became. And who you become is written every single day in the choices we repeat. And because small choices can become the best traditions, I would love to end with one. After every home win, our field hockey team sang Amazing Grace. So if you're willing, please stand and sing number 352 with us. Thank you.